Always have to hit got it. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Norton Sports Health KDF Mini Marathon Training Program Tuesday Talk. This is our last Tuesday Talk of 2022. That was a lot of twos. We are actually at Lynn Family Stadium. It's on the other side of the camera because we wanted to get a lovely shot of Louisville here, little skyline, liking it. And I am here with our very special guest, very busy man this week, obviously, Chris Martini. He is the race director for the KDF Mini and Marathon, and he also handles a lot of other events with KDF as well. So this is just one major event that he handles. But we're going to chat with him today about some FAQs on race day. We're going to go over some basics, and then I'm going to have a few questions, and then I really want you guys to feel comfortable to put your questions in the Q&A. There is a Q&A section on the bottom of the screen, and you can put all your questions in there, and then they'll pop up, and we can answer them live. No question is a stupid question. Throw it out there. We will take care of it. I might giggle, but but Chris is probably a little better at it. So again, nobody's on camera. Everyone is muted, and we will post this video later in the KDF training Facebook group. So if you're missing it today, you can always catch it later, or if you need to bounce out a little early, you can always watch the end later today. So let's go ahead and get started. Once again, Chris Martini, the race director for the KDF Mini and Marathon. You're not tired or busy at all today.
No, just another day, nothing big going on.
We're all just running on caffeine. So again, we are at the Lynn Family Stadium, which is the finish line area for the race this year. A little different. We had it last year, but last year was, I don't even know what happened last year. It was a 4-day event. It was crazy. So we want to push all that behind us and do this all in one day. Yay. Chris is happy about it. We're all happy about it. So before we get started, we were just talking about some informational emails. Want to let you guys know that today, yes, you will be receiving an email directly from the Kentucky Derby Festival with a lot of information about race week and the expo and what to expect and your start time, your corral, all of that information. So what are some of the big key points in that email?
Big things in there are going to be knowing when the expo is. Expo will be Thursday, April 28th from 4 to 8 p.m. or Friday, the 29th from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. We will be at the Kentucky International Convention Center, Hall B, as we're going to pick up your race bib, your shirt, all the kind of stuff you need for race day. Meet with your pacers, go find Stephanie and hang out at the Norton tent, get your magnets. So anything like that, we'll have our FAQs up on the board. We'll have some maps, any last minute things you need to talk to runner services, any of that sort of stuff that can all be found at the expo. So in those emails, you'll get kind of some general information about the expo, as well as your corral assignment, which has already been assigned, and most importantly, your QR code. So similar to what we did last year, everyone will have a QR code. You bring that with you to race day, to the expo. We will scan that QR code and scan your bib and assign that bib on the spot. So that's where you get your bib number and everything like that. So that'll be coming out. Just bring that with you. If somebody's picking up for you, you can give them that QR code, but that'll be included in that email. It's been the last couple of emails that have come out from us. So just bring that with you, and that's how we'll get you assigned, get you in, get you out, and get you ready for race day.
Now, it happens inevitably every time. What if I don't have my QR code?
If you don't have your QR code, no problem. We can look you up by name. You have to go to runner services and talk to them. If you know your corral, you can still go to your corral and get it there. But if you don't know your corral, you don't have a QR code, you can go to runner services and they will help you look up. We'll also have some ambassadors, other people around with help me signs. They'll be able to do some of that lookup for you. So we'll have plenty of people around to help with that sort of stuff. So not a problem there. We'll get you taken care of.
Great. So look for that email, guys, first and foremost, coming out today. So keep an eye out for that. It might go to your junk mail. It always goes to mine. I don't know why, but it does. So we want to also hit just a couple other things. There's been a number of questions about a variety of topics. Parking for race day is always the number one. So what you got?
So parking this year, our start and finish are a little farther apart than they've been in the past, but it's still pretty close. There will be parking here at Lynn Family Stadium. The gold and gray lots are available. The stadium will be selling those for $10 parking. There's also a number of parking spots, kind of normal surface lots, anywhere in the community that you can get to, that'll get you to the start line. Now, our corrals will be starting at Slugger Field and working their way up to Floyd Street, where our official start line will be. So anywhere in that area that you want to find parking if you are not looking to park at the finish. But nice benefit of being able to park at the finish, get a nice little warm up on your way to those start lines, and then when it's over, your car is right here.
And will any of the lots be open and available along the waterfront?
So we will be having the waterfront closed back to Frankfurt Avenue just for the safety of our runners this year. So we will not be able to come in that way. Just as many of you know, the marathon will be running across the Big Fork Bridge, so we will make sure we have that security right there for you.
Okay, so make note of where you're parking. These are all things you need to really think of the night before, because if you get down here and you think it might take you 30 minutes to find your perfect parking spot, you need to factor that into your race morning, along with your breakfast and your putting on your clothes and your warm up. I'm really glad you mentioned warm up. We always warm up. So a little walk for a couple blocks is not going to hurt you. It's not going to knock 10 minutes off your PR time. It's good for you. Okay. A little slow walk. Now, if you have to be running to the start line because you're running late, well, then you might have a little more of an extensive warm up. So you did mention, so the start line is basically right by Slugger Field. Yes. And then the finish line is here at Lynn Family Stadium, which will also have the runner reunite area. So tell us about that.
So yeah, we're really excited to bring back Runner Reunite. You know, like Stephanie said, we got to have the finish line here at Lynn Family Stadium last year, but as we all know, it was 4 days and it was not the same. It was come in, get your medal, and kind of go and leave because of COVID. But
I did all that work and I did not get my free banana. What?
I don't know what to tell you.
No, we're good. We got snacks this time. Yeah.
But it's going to be exciting. We're going to be out in front of the stadium by the Art City sign by the field there. We have some great activations from our sponsors. GE Appliance is going to be doing an amazing cooking display out there. So definitely go check that out. Get some samples, some smoothies, some other things like that. Those of you over 21, we'll have Goodwood Brewing serving their lager. And we'll also have Bardstown Bourbon giving us some samples of bourbon this year.
Yeah.
Stephanie might not have. I don't know if you're going to get those stats or not.
Well, I mean, I'm working, so no. But yeah, so lots of great things at the end of the race this year. Much more of that end of the race environment with the music and the people and the spectators. So speaking of spectators, some of you guys have friends and family wanting to come out and watch. So any recommendations on where the friends and family might go?
There's a lot of different places. You know, there's always great places along the course. Central Park's always a great spot. Churchill Downs, always a great place to watch. If they're looking to meet you up the finish line, we really recommend coming down here to the stadium. One great thing about this finish line, when the spectators come in, they'll be able to come to Runners Reunite. They'll also be able to get down there towards the finish line and kind of line that around and cheer you on as they cross the finish line. So they'll be able to see the runners crossing the finish line and then meet back up in the Reunite area after you go through your nutrition shoot and get together. So it's a really cool option we have that, you know, everyone can kind of see, you know, be at the finish line. So parking down here or anywhere along the route, you know, the Greenway is also a great place in Southern Indiana for the marathoners to kind of go out and cheer on people on that back half of the race. So there's a number of great places. We're excited to have people lining the course again this year like we've had in the past.
Yeah. And speaking of the course, what kind of nutrition might we find, nutrition and hydration might we find along the two different routes?
So on the Louisville side, we will have Louisville Water Company will be tapping water along every water stop. And we will also have Mountain Berry Blast Powerade on both sides of the course this year. Nutrition, we've had supply chain issues trying to get nutrition. We are working on trying to get some sort of gel or something like that. We know we have our scream teams that will be out there and others who will be hopefully getting some nutrition for us. We're working on getting more things like that together for you still. So
if there are gels, would that just mainly be on the marathon side?
It would most likely be on the marathon side, yes. We're working on securing what we can right now on that.
Right.
Yeah, we know that's an important part for it as well. So we're working hard at that.
And you all know like what you've been training with. So I mean, rely on what you've been training with. Exactly. Bring that with you. Have that little pouch or a couple pockets. And then the water stops, they're about a mile-ish apart.
Yeah, about every mile. And then on the Indiana side, so it's a big reminder, because we are an out and back course in Indiana along the Greenway, we will be doing bottled water on those stops. And you can hit almost every one of those stops, with the exception of our turnaround, twice. So when you're going out, you'll be hitting that same on the way back, and they'll have tables on both sides of the greenway for you.
Yep.
So, you will have those return wall. It'll only say the ones going out. Remember, that is coming back as well. So the Big Fort Bridge, on Riverside Drive, in Ashland Park, at the George Rogers Clark home, and at our turnaround are all going to be water stops on the Indiana side with bottled water that you can hit 2 times.
Yep. Plenty of hydration out there, guys. So if you're not someone that likes to run with your own hydration, you will be plenty hydrated. And I looked ahead at the weather. I'm not going to jinx anything, but it does look like it might get up into the 70s. There's a possibility of a little rain in the morning. It's going to start around in the 50s, it seemed like. So just be prepared for that. Check that weather, figure out your clothing, figure out your layers. Nutrition and hydration, very important the night before as well as the morning of. So anything else you want to add before I go to the Q&A? By the way, quick guys, put your questions in that Q&A. I'm going to get to those in just a minute.
Big thing is, we've said it a lot, the race is starting at 7 a.m. this year.
Oh, yes.
We have started at 7:30 in the past. Last year we started at 6:30. This year we will be starting at 7 a.m. So, we're trying to be great partners with our city. They're, letting us come back through the city and run through the town again. So we're going to be able to clear those roads faster for everyone, for runners, for family, for everybody, get back and be able to get through downtown afterwards. So remember, we're starting at 7 a.m. And the other thing is we will be back to having full medical stops along the course this year, provided by Norton.
I should have mentioned that, by the way. We are out there for you guys. Norton Sports Health has 8 medical tents along there, 7 or 8. Yeah, 7 or 8. We'll figure that out. And then, of course, our big giant finish line medical tent is right there for you when you cross over. So if you need a little assistance, we are out there. We got all your blister cream and Band-Aids and Vaseline and whatever else you may need out there on the route and at the finish line. So come see us. We love you. Come see us. We'll get you through that race and we'll motivate you along from Norton Sports Health. All right, good. Okay, let's look at some Q&As. I saw a couple pop up here. So excited to get questions, you guys. Go ahead and pop them in there. All right, so, good one. Katie Pate, are there any kid activities for those waiting for family members to finish? There's a big playground over here, by the way.
We'll be working with Louisville City on that, so we can talk to them about seeing the playground's open, but they'll be, we have the futsal field here, so area for kids to play around in there with the little small football field out front, some photo op activities with GE Appliances having a rose wall and something like that. So there's some activities out there. It's not going to be, maybe we have bounce houses or anything like that, but we'll have some, we got a great open area out here that people can hang out in and have fun. It's gonna be a beautiful day for it as well.
Yeah, have them run around, get them some energy.
Get some energy out.
Christine Price, is the parking fee at Lynn Family Stadium cash only? Good question. I would recommend bringing cash,
I would absolutely
right?
recommend cash on that. And assume it is cash only on that one.
Yeah, if you are going to pay to park, bring your cash. Otherwise, as mentioned, this stadium is in Butchertown, and there's a lot of little side roads here, guys. I mean, every time I've come down here, I've been able to find a side road. But if you want to just have that easy breezy, take my money, park here, and know exactly where my car is, it's safe, it's right by the finish. Do that gold or gray lot on the eastern side, right?
Yes.
Of Lynn Family Stadium, north, southeast. Okay, got it. Another question. Let's see. Haven't gotten messages. Haven't gotten the emails. Does he need to know his corral to get his QR code? We kind of talked about that. If for some reason you don't have the email, you don't have your QR code, then you go to where at the expo?
The runner services station. They will take care of you there.
Isn't that Kay?
Yes, it is.
That is Miss Kay. We love Miss Kay.
Miss Kay and Mr. Ron.
Yeah, and Mr. Ron. They have been working that table for
almost 30 years.
Almost 30 years. So believe me, they know the answer to every single question you can possibly think of.
They will have you taken care of, no problem.
Yeah. Holly, do we need to bring a poncho, or is it okay to run without it if it drizzles? I will answer that question. I'll tell you what, I have run in a poncho before because it was raining, and I can't tell you how annoying that poncho was the whole race, because it rained and then it stopped and I got hot and I took it off, and then it rained again and I put it back on, and then it rained and stopped and I got hot and then I took it off. So honestly, you can only get wet once, guys. So if it drizzles a little in the morning and you're a little damp, It's not going to be super cold. You'll be fine. Just wear some layers in case you do get a little chilly. But hey, we're running. Your body's moving. You're getting warm. We're going. So ponchos, you can do it if you really want to. And you know, if you want to bring that poncho and even just wear it at the starting line while you're waiting to start, that could be a great idea just so you don't get cold. So that's just my takeaway from it. You can do what you want. A lot of people wear trash bags too if you don't want to throw away a good poncho. Are there any, oh, good one. Are there any gear check stations at the start line?
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
We have drop back gear check. We will be right there at Preston and Maine, so right by Slugger Field. We'll have the big truck right there. You will be getting your gear check bag at Race Expo, so that clear bag, be sure you bring that with you. You have that tear off tab on your bib. Tear that tab off, get your name on that bag, and give it to our crew. They'll take all that stuff, and they'll be down here in the finish line shoot for you. So just keep heading down that chute afterwards. Get your nutrition, get your, all your good stuff in the chute there, and then in the back we will have that bag for you.
Perfect. And then you're talking about the tear off on the bib. Is that also where your tear off for your bourbon and your beer is?
It absolutely is.
So you don't want to tear that off beforehand. You want to have that at the end. Just saying. All right, Angela. Can people go to Ashland Park and then circle back to the stadium to see runners on their route? So I assume we're talking about spectators. Getting to Ashland Park, maybe from Louisville. Gosh, how would one do that?
You can go across the Riverside Drive. It's going to be kind of similar to last year. There will be still access on Riverside Drive into the park there. So it'll be kind of running with a cone lane as we've done in the past in that area. So traffic will travel around. You may have some delays getting there as runners will have the right of way, but it is absolutely possible to do so. There's parking in Ashland Park. We'll have water stuff there. There will be a lot of activity in that area, but there will be accessibility to get there and get back across the interstates and the Second Street Bridge.
Yeah,
so just follow our
Second
detours.
Street Bridge will be open.
Yes.
You just have to get across the route, I guess, to get to it.
Yeah, that would be your one thing. And again, they are letting cross traffic go through. It's just a matter of runners will have that right away, and we'll have Jeffersonville police have been amazing to work with. They're helping us out big time on this and kind of manning those areas for us. So yeah, just knowing that the runner does have the right of way in that area. So again, for runners, no need to worry. We have some crossing guards there when you're crossing over National Park, similar to the stoplights we had last year. So runners will have that right of way at all times in that area.
Yep. Let's see. Doing the mini and the slowest runner of them all. I doubt it. Worried about the time limit. So what is the time limit for the mini, Chris? And what happens if you kind of fall behind that time?
So we are asking everybody to maintain a 15-minute mile. So holding that pace, we get the roads reopened. We will have sweepers and pacers running with you, just to help motivate you and keep you at the time. So we have a group running. Dallas has a great crew together of pacers. They'll have the signs. They'll be running with you, helping you keep that pace. If you fall behind, it doesn't mean you can't finish the race. It may mean that we have to start taking some water stops and some road barricades down because of the agreement we have to open our city back up to everyone. You may be asked to move to the sidewalk for a portion of it, but it doesn't mean you're not going to get your medal. It doesn't mean you're not going to, you still can finish the race. We will, even fly by this, we're still tearing down. There'll still be people here at that finish line. We try and wait. We know who's on the course and who's still running, so we will be watching for every runner across that course. I will make sure, I stay till every last runner has been here in the past, and I will plan to do that again this year.
So does the Norton Sports Health medical team, so don't worry about that. So a 15-minute mile, that also applies to the marathon.
13:45 for the marathon.
Oh, okay. Take note of that, marathoners. You got to keep a 13:45. Yes. So what would that finish time be, sir? I'm not sure of the math on that.
Course is closing around 1:30.
So
6 hour, yeah.
6, and that starts after the last runner crosses the start line.
Yes, the official clock starts. So don't worry if you are not at the front of the corral. That doesn't change your time. Our official clock starts on the course limit when the last runner clears it, and we bring that start line tape up. Yep. So keep that in mind when you're looking at that pace. You will have, it's not when that gun goes off. It is when you actually hit that timing max. Is when your time starts.
That's when you all start their watches. That's why everybody's photo at the start line is like this, because they're getting ready to start their watch. So yeah. And again, just a quick reminder: 7 a.m. start time. I can't say that enough. Chris can't say that enough. 7 a.m. guys. Let's see. Can we talk about corrals a little bit? So maybe explain the difference in the corrals and how you find your corral.
So corrals, We have it set up by your pace. So the pace you entered when you signed up, that's what we're using to base your corral off of. We have again, our services and Kay have a great system in place to put those in. We have a great crew that sets them up. We will have some big feather flags up. They'll say that corral letter. So you find that area, and we have a great team up there. They'll let you into the area. We'll have kind of flags and rope going across, separating each corral. And when it's your corral's time, they'll move that tape out of the way and they'll head up to that start line. So it's just that rolling start. When the gun goes off, you'll see that first wave go, you see that second wave go. We just continue to move them forward until we clear everyone out from it. And again, we'll be starting those at top corral in the front. We'll be right there at Floyd and Main, working our way back to Slugger Field and right around Jackson Street where we'll be ending those corrals. So get up there, you'll see our fencing on race morning on the road there. Just look for that big blue flag that has your letter on it and head to that area. And we'll have teams there to help kind of get you in the corral and get you situated and everything.
So follow everybody else. If you don't know where you're going, just say, where do I go? Where's the corral? Believe me, everybody's very helpful on race morning.
Just look for your letters on your bib.
Yeah, and I also recommend carry a disposable water bottle up there with you because you might be standing there for a few minutes. The last thing you want to do is start getting all cotton mouthy and dry and nervous. Take some water into that starting corral with you. I've always done that. It's always been helpful. And get that last restroom stop on your way in. There's going to be a ton of porta johns as you walk up to the start line. Get your pee stop there or your something else stop, and then take your water and go wait in line and just try to keep those nerves in check. We'll talk about that in a second. So the time difference in the corrals. Speaking of corrals, so it's based on what your projected finish time is. So the differences between the corrals, it's
minimal. There's cutoff points like your A corral is your people who are your 1 hour to hour and a half hour. So it's just based off that. It's kind of, we average it out to have about 1,000 people per corral. We don't want to overload those corrals, so it's an average of the time and then the number of people we have registering. So but again, your time does not start until you cross that line. So it's not going to change your clock, like your personal pace with it. And we, do a really good job of kind of monitoring all that. And then the ones that are verified times, trying to make sure we get people together so you can, you're running at the same pace as the people around you.
Yeah, and that's the key. You're running with other people of your similar pace.
And again, if you have any questions about corrals, or you think maybe your corral is too high or a corral is too low, run their services. They will talk to you. They can look at adjusting your corral and have that discussion with you at Expo. They're happy to do that.
Yep. And then are there age group awards?
There are. We are bringing back our age group awards this year.
So if you're a fastie and you're gonna shoot for an age group award, good luck to you. Let's see. Oh, that's a good question. I was actually going to ask how many mini runners and how many marathon runners this year? What's our expected?
We're still seeing a lot of registration come in this year. Tell your friends, we are leaving registration open all the way through Expo this year. So something new that we haven't done in a while. So people are still registering, keep coming in. We'll have about, we're hoping to run with 10,000 of our closest friends again this year. So, about 2,000 in the marathon and then a large number in the mini. So
the numbers are up there, guys. So
it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be exciting to kind of have that group back together. I love one of my favorite shots, kind of a look around the office, that shot of everyone kind of right there at the start line when that first group's coming through. So I'm really excited to have that shot from the race that I've helped playing this year as my first one with you guys. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Starting line, Maine and Preston. Starting lines, Maine and Preston. Is that correct?
No, it's Maine and Floyd.
Maine and Floyd.
Preston is where our gear check area will be. So that'll be part of our corral system there on Preston.
Right. So, and then the finish line is actually right here at Lane Family Stadium, which is Adams and basically
Mill. Just before that, it'll be right out on Adams. Just past Witherspoon.
Witherspoon and Adams is basically the finish line. So take a look at that map. I mean, there's a lot of these questions and things can be found at kbf.org. Take a look at that map though. If people are trying to find you, print them out the map and then send them on Google. That's the best way they can find you.
And remember, we have RaceJoy again this year. So if anybody's looking to track you, sign up for that RaceJoy app, put your bib in, have your family or friends follow you on there. They can send you cheers and encouragement or anything like that. And then they'll know where you are on the course if they're trying to find you.
Yeah, that's another good note is that there is runner tracking services through RaceJoy. You have to download the app and then you have to make sure you have to do a few instructional things on race morning to make sure that it's turned on and people can follow you. But the followers and the racers both have to have that app on their phones. And then obviously you have to run with your phone. If you don't like to do that, then it might not work out for you.
And that's also a great way. We send messages out for that. If there's anything that comes up on the court, whether it's anything like that, that's a great way for us to get information to the runners as well. So, be watching for that.
Yep. What I mean is the end of the starting line. Well, it's just however long it goes back. The end of the starting line will basically be closest to Slugger Field. Is that right, Chris?
Yeah, it'll be a little past Slugger, Jackson. Basically to the overpass of the interstate will be where our start line, back of our corral will be.
Overpass of the interstate.
Yeah, it depends again how many runners are there that day and how far up we are in the corral. But that's how far back we will be having our corrals locked.
And then we had one more question on there. Restrooms on the routes. Where would we find those?
Pretty much at every water stop there will be portlets, and they will be plenty accessible. You'll be able to see them. So coming up to that water stop, look in that area, you will find one there for you. So we have them. We'll have a plethora of them out there for you on both the mini and the marathon, and at the start to finish line. So we have you covered there.
Yep, perfect. So we got water and porta johns at every stop.
Every mile. So.
Oh my goodness, are those all the questions? There's so many. You guys are awesome. You asked so many. I think we got a lot of things answered. If there's any last second, you got to get them in now. I'm going to close this up in just a minute or two so I don't keep this very important man for any longer. Let's see. It looks like we got one more pop up. Let's be the last one. Powerade, non-water option. Oh, it's Mountain Berry, right?
Mountain Berry Black. Yep.
Mountain Berry
Blue.
Powerade blue. You just call it blue. It's blue. So you can take that if that works with your belly and your nutrition for the day. Question about pacers. Do they maintain the same pace for the duration, or do they expect a slightly slower down after a certain number of miles?
I'm gonna look at someone who's been a pacer before. They got to help with that one a little bit. So
I have been a pacer in the past. I paced many races in my time. I particularly try to keep the same minute per mile every mile. Now, I've only paced half marathons. The marathon pacers might have a different idea, knowing that as you get into mile 18, 19, 20, your body's going to really start to slow down. So they might push a little faster in the beginning and then know that they're going to be slower towards the end of that race. What I suggest you do is you find your pacer within your corral and talk to them. Say, what's your plan? What are you going to do today? How are you going to run this race? How are you going to pace this race? And see if that works for you. There are typically 2 people for every pace team, and those pace signs will be up in the air as they're standing there, and do they say finish time?
Yes, they have
or do they say minute mile?
Minute mile.
They say what their plan is to run like a 10-minute mile or a 9-minute mile or whatever it is. So look for those. Talk to the pacers. The pacers.
Go to the Pace Lounge at the Expo. They will be there. Dallas has his crew there. He will be there as coordinator, and he works really hard to make sure we have pacers who are up to the standards for a marathon to keep those paces. So they'll be right in the middle of the Expo. Find that the Dick's Sporting Goods Pace Lounge and talk with them there. They'll be there both days, and they'll be able to really give you some insight on what their plans are. Or Dallas will be there, who's the coordinator, and he'll be able to give you some insight on what the plans are for all the pacers.
Yeah, get with those pacers at the Expo. They are there to talk to you about all your concerns. Let's see. Keeping up, you'll be able to do it. I promise. You'll be good. If you put in the training, you're good to go. The hay is in the barn, guys. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. If you have any more questions, you can go ahead and comment on this video once we post it in the Facebook group, and I'll do my best to answer. And if I can't get the answer, then I'll just text this guy and say, hey, what's the answer? Because I don't know everything, guys. He's the race director. I'm just helping out. So we are going to call it quits. This is our last Tuesday talk 2022, in case I forgot to tell you. So I'm excited for the race. I'm part of a relay team. So you guys might see me out there. The marathoners might see me out there because I'm doing the last leg. So say hi if you see me. I may or may not be having a good day. Who knows? You always got to put that ego aside when you start a race and just have some fun. Again, Hayes in the bar. You did the training. We're good to go. You guys are strong. You're ready mentally and physically. Okay. So thank you all for joining us on this Tuesday talk. Thank you all for racing and for signing up for the race. I know he appreciates it. And thank you all for being a part of the Norton Sports Health KDF mini and marathon training program this year. We'll see you out there.
All right.